Oh, hello there. Welcome to another Assassin's Creed video. I just got this panda off for a really cheap price. I think it really looks cool to be adding up into my new gaming setup. And just like that, we are back with Assassin's Creed Mirage gameplay details. We have so much more that has dropped today. We have so much information related to the gameplay, and I just cannot hold all of this excitement because I want to be sharing every single one of those details with you guys who are excited for Assassin's Creed Mirage. Now listen up and listen up very carefully, because we got some information related to some of the major content that we're going to be getting in terms of gameplay, in terms of parkour and the combat system, and so much more from Ubisoft directly themselves. The game directors, art directors, and everybody, the developers have basically spoken. They've given us new information on how and what type of a game we're going to be focusing on with Assassin's Creed Mirage here.
Are you ready to give up who you once thought you were?
I am.
Now, the first thing that I want to get right into the topic is with the black box missions. This is something that we've already seen with games like Assassin's Creed Unity and plenty of previous old school Assassin's Creed games, and something like that is very much going to be returning back to Mirage according to the game's art director. Now, the art director has given us some information which basically states that black box missions, if you guys don't know what that is, it's basically a particular assassination mission which is going to have multiple possibilities of how you're going to be accessing that one target. So you could either go stealthy, you could even go guns blazing, all action and stuff like that, or there could be some other intractable things around the open world environment. You could even choose to go ahead and do some of those activities and then indirectly try to assassinate the character that you're basically playing. It's basically a combination of playing games like Hitman and Assassin's Creed in general. So that's basically what black box missions are, and that is going to be returning to Assassin's Creed Mirage. This is something that we've been missing out on all the latest Assassin's Creed games, and I know some of you guys are going to say, well, Blakwoodz, Assassin's Creed Valhalla did add a few black box missions. Well, to be honest, I don't consider that as a black box missions because that was completely outrageous. And when it comes to Valhalla's missions and how they kind of designed this whole black box thingy for that game, I am not a big fan of that. But when it comes to old school games, I think Ubisoft has a lot of things to learn from their own old projects because they've done some really good job, astonishing jobs with previous Assassin's Creed games, and I think that is something they are really missing out in the recent ones, and they are now fixing it. They're now giving us black box missions which is going to take place in particular locations so that they have kind of like designed most of the possibilities for the game. It's not something that happens randomly, it's something that was pre-designed so that every different choice is going to have a variety of different consequences and different types of actions. Whatever players like to play as, you want to play stealthy, you want to play action blazed, everything is possible now with Assassin's Creed Mirage. So all of these things are now added into gameplay. Now, another really cool thing that Sarah Borgia, who is the creative director of Assassin's Creed, has now given us some information where she has said that the game is going to start off the main missions, the side quests, and all of those things from the Assassin's Bureau. And the story and the missions and the contracts and the assignments for Basim is not something that is going to be his story alone. It's going to be a story that is fully focused and immersed into the world of assassins, hidden ones, and Templars. So anything that is related to stories or even side quests or even any sort of missions, it is absolutely related and is going to be starting off only from the Assassin's Bureau. And the game is going to have multiple bureaus. It's not going to be like something that we've seen with Assassin's Creed Odyssey or even Assassin's Creed Valhalla where you have this abandoned bureaus. This is going to be different. She has mentioned that there are going to be multiple bureaus and there's going to be one head bureau for one particular district, which means that there are 4 different districts in the game. So you might most likely have 4 different headquarters for these districts, and all of these places are going to have sub-districts like bureaus and stuff like that. So there's one main place where you're going to be starting off all of your main story missions, which is of course going to be the Alamut Tower that you've seen in the trailers as well as in some of the gameplay screenshots. So this tower is going to be the one spot for the main storyline missions to begin. So any of the storyline is going to start from here. here and then progress all the way towards the open world. And the reason why they're done this kind of a new gameplay thingy is because the game director here states that the story of Assassin's Creed Mirage is not just going to be focused all around with just Basim and his adventure with assassins or whatever. The game is mainly going to be focusing on the hidden ones and the Templars, meaning the Order of the Ancients, whatever you guys want to call. So this is basically how they've designed the whole game and the stereotypes of how things are going to be working out. And I think that's a good thing because it kind of makes you feel like you're a proper assassin who's going to be taking orders from the assassins in the Bureau as well as in the Alamo Tower. So that's a really good thing. What do you guys think about this one? Would you like to have an Assassin's Creed game where you have like the storyline that is continued with just the character and his own story in life? Or would you like to have an Assassin's Creed game where the story is always related to the hidden ones and Templars? And I know that we also need some kind of story that is personal to the character Basim himself, but Ubisoft has already confirmed that Basim is going to have that one punch storyline that all of the fans are going to get connected to this character in his life and all that stuff. So that's also coming at one point, but the main storyline is always going to be focusing towards the assassins, hidden ones, and that is something I think I've fallen in love with. And I'm really hoping that Ubisoft does this right because they always say good things about their games, but at the end they always end up ruining it with either a cartoon looking stupid funny cosmetic items that is going to change the immersion of the game, or they would just add some super fantasy things and then give us a stupid reason like eating mushrooms is going to cause all these hallucination and then you're gonna have all the fantasy stuff. I really hope Ubisoft you don't do that stuff. I mean, up to some level fantasy is kind of fun, but you guys kind of ruined Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I had really high hopes for the game from launch, but then when it comes to post-launch content and basically every content that you guys have given for the game, everything is fantasy and nothing has any meaningful meaning to it. So it's something I really don't want to be seeing with Assassin's Creed Mirage. You fans, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Let Ubisoft know in the comments. What do you guys personally prefer? Would you like to see more realism in the game and all these unrealistic skins and all this stuff? Let me know. Let Ubisoft know in the comments. Now, the art director of Assassin's Creed Mirage has also confirmed that we're going to be having a target clues that is located all around the map. So it's going to be either random, and also in some cases of main missions, it's also going to be pre-planned by the developers. So all of these different target clues are going to help the players decide on what kind of approach they want to be taking, and you will have to find out different clues, which is something we already had in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Sometimes I enjoyed it, sometimes I thought it was kind of really annoying because I really wanted to get through the storyline. And I don't know, what do you guys think about this? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing that Ubisoft is adding something like this into the game? And now let's move on to the most cool part of the game, which is the assassinations, the gameplay, and how the fighting combat system is going to be working out. And the one thing that the art director has now stated is that the assassinations in Assassin's Creed Mirage has a completely different set of new animations, and this could be one of the best animations that we have ever seen so far in any of the Assassin's Creed games, because since Basim is supposed to be the fastest assassin of all time, this also means that he's very agile and he has a lot of skill sets. So we're going to be having a bunch of new assassination animations, which I think is really cool. And especially with the cinematic trailers that we've seen so far, it seems like Basim has a bunch of new tools that he uses in order to assassinate his characters, which is really cool. And we also saw a social stealth blending into the crowd and trying to assassinate the characters, something like that in the cinematic trailer, and that looked absolutely stunning. And this is something they're going to be introducing in the game as well. Now, another very interesting ability that Basim has in this game that none of the assassins have in any of the Assassin's Creed games is that Basim now has the ability of slowing down time, pretty much like Prince of Persia Sands of Time, where it's going to be a rechargeable ability and you can basically upgrade it over time with some of the skill trees that you get in the game. Now, first off, how this thing works is that Basim will now be able to assassinate more than one target. It could be 2 targets, it could be 3 targets, or 3 or 4 or 5 or how many ever there is. So that is something that Ubisoft has newly added into the game. And the way this works is that there's going to be a timer that is being slowed down, and you will basically have to mark different characters, pretty much like the Deadeye that you use in Red Dead Redemption, where you could basically mark multiple different characters, and then you just have to click the button and author is going to be murdering all of them all at once. So this is something that they have introduced in Assassin's Creed Mirage as well, where you will be able to slow down the time and mark multiple characters, and then you can assassinate all of them at once. So in order to do it, you will have to keep upgrading this ability, which is passive, and the further you upgrade it, the more people that you will be able to assassinate at the same time. So this is how it works. And in order to do this, Basim is going to have different types of animations in which he's going to perform this assassination attack. This could be him throwing a smoke down there, the red smoke thingy that we saw in the cinematic trailer. He could do that, and then he would basically just disappear out of the thin air, and that could be a new animation that they're adding in. So these are all the animations for the slowed down timer assassination thingy. So this is kind of something that looks very exciting in terms of paper, but I don't know how it's going to be executed, how it's going to be working out in the game. So as always, keep your hopes really low. Don't get super excited, because Ubisoft, you know, they always say the good things, but when it comes to the action, they always fail. Most of the times they fail. So that's the reason I say don't get too excited. Just hold your carcass here. Now, the game director of Mirage has spoken to Access the Enemies, where he has now revealed that the game is going to have a completely different color schematic in terms of visual representation, how the graphics and stuff looks. It's not going to be very colorful as far as what he stated, because that's something that they've seen with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, where there is a lot of colors that's popping out, which kind of makes it look like a fantasy game as far as what he says. It seems like Assassin's Creed Mirage is going to have much more of a darker phase where it's going to look more realistic. It's kind of going to give you that assassin and a hidden ones game feel. But me personally, I just love colors, man. I just love games that are vibrant, colorful, and rich to look at. But in terms of how you design the game, I think that's the focus as to how the game is going to look like or play like or whatever. But I don't know about the colors. But it seems like the art director knows what he's talking about. So let's just give him the creds here. But as far as what he said, the game is going to look more realistic in colors, not colorful. And when Access the Enemies asked them about some information related to how they're going to be handling the realism in this game, in terms of skins, in terms of how the different missions are going to be progressing, is there going to be fantasy? And as far as what the game director had to say, he said that yes, the game is trying to be realistic as much as possible, because of course we have the Isu and all that stuff. So once again, Assassin's Creed is not entirely realistic, but at the same time there is a little bit of fantasy, but not too much to a point where we saw in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Origins, and Valhalla. But then I really hope they limit that stuff and keep it only towards the Isu elements of the game. So as far as what the game director said, he stated that there is not going to be a lot of different stupid looking unicorn horses and all that stuff in the game. So which is something the player base have absolutely hated for so long, because it kind of just ruins the immersion in the game. And now they have said that we're going to be getting all the mounts that we already know and we have experienced so far, which is going to be the bear mount, the horse mount, the camels and stuff like that, which we've already experienced in Assassin's Creed Origins, Valhalla and stuff. So those things are of course going to be returning once again in Assassin's Creed Mirage. But then the game director has kind of promised, he stated that it is going to keep the game as grounded as possible. They're going to limit that stuff, but I strongly disagree with this judgment here, because I don't think Ubisoft is going to keep it grounded. Let's be real here. This is exactly what they said with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but they just never keep up their promise. They're always going to ruin the game with a lot of fantasy and stupid looking skins and all that stuff they're going to be selling using Helix credits. So this is something that I think we all should just live with, and that's basically how Assassin's Creed games are going to be designed from now on. So apart from this, lads, we already know that Ubisoft is giving a pre-order bonus of getting this Prince of Persia bundle, which already has a lot of fantasy magical stuff in it. So I strongly disagree with whatever the game director here says. I don't think that they're going to keep this game any grounded. It's just small talks. It is not real. I know Ubisoft from my experience so far. We have a lot of more information that I would just love to share. On the next video, we will of course talk in details about the Hidden Ones Bureau and how the missions and storyline is going to take place related to that stuff. So keep an eye out for that one. I will keep you guys updated with all of the informations that you need about all the upcoming open world games and Assassin's Creed, because that is what I cover on this channel. Anything related to gaming, podcasts, and all this stuff, this channel right here is going to be a one-stop shop. So make sure to go ahead, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notifications on. We have crossed 100,000 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. Thank thank you guys so much for being here and supporting the community. So yeah, make sure to go ahead, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. And the most important stuff of all, make sure that you guys are setting your notification settings to all, because if you don't do that, the broadcast YouTube platform, they just don't send you guys the notifications of my daily videos. So make sure that you guys do it. And with that being said, if you guys are going and enjoy this video and want to support me as a content creator, please smack that big fat like, and also let me know in the comments what do you guys personally think about all of these gameplay details, and which platform are you guys going to be playing Assassin's Creed Mirage on. I'm going to be playing it on the PlayStation 5. I don't know, maybe I could shift on to the PC version because there are going to be a bunch of mods that I'm going to be trying out. Now, of course, you guys know that I've tried out a bunch of different mods for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It is going to be the same for Mirage as well, because I haven't really seen any YouTube channel that has been covering mod content for Assassin's Creed games. So this channel is going to be your one stop for all of those things. So always keep updated for all those stuffs. And with that being said, lads, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Until then, take it easy, fams, and goodbye, lads.